before moving on, I probably would say I'd like to rest. So we're going to go into a new map action phase, and we're going to put ourselves, it doesn't matter what stance we put ourselves in, but it will change what we can do. Now, I don't have any reason I want to do an explore here. I don't think I want to do any invest because I don't have enough gold to reduce the bounty level or the danger levels or increase the town levels. This one you can buy and sell items, draw cards from the loot deck equal to the town level of your space. The town level doesn't have one where I'm at, so I'd have to really look into that. So really all I'm concerned about doing right now is a rest action just to recover the wounds that I have. I might even improve on one of my stuff, so we're going to leave ourselves in the cautious stance just in case, not leave ourselves, we're going to put ourselves into the cautious stance just in case something happens on the encounter. Alright, so now that we've done that, we're going to take the rest action. We know we start with the Witch Smelly because she has the highest MRL. She's going to test her MRL. Hopefully we get a 9 or less. We do. So we got a 6, so we passed. Now we take half our MRL, which is going to be 5. We round up, and that's how many wounds that we can heal. We're at a 7, so that means our wounds are now at a 2. So she's doing much, much better for the next encounter. We don't have enough XP to do any of our improvements, so she's really just kind of stuck the way she is. The next one to get a turn is our Corpse Burner. He doesn't have any wounds, nothing to heal, nothing to take off, so there's no reason to do an MRL test. We're skipping that. However, I am going to spend 8 XP. I'm going to do an improve on him to do Shrug Off Pain, and I'm going to bring it up to the Mastery side. Alright, let me see. This one's going to require a Constitution of 8 or an MRL of 9. Oh, wait a minute. I can't do that. I cannot improve this one because remember, requirements here are a Constitution of 8 or an MRL of 9. I don't have a high enough MRL, and my Constitution normally would be high enough if I wasn't carrying around this -1 Constitution card, which makes it a 7. So as much as it would have been nice to improve, I'm going to have to say skip it for now. And well, see, that just made a bit of a problem for me that I noticed that on the other side. I can't take off this Shrug Off Pain even though it's one of my recommended cards. I'm going to have to go swap those out for another card because I cannot even have this one with me. So give me a second while I do that. Alright, so after looking through them again, I decided I think I'm going to go with this one. This one I would have gotten back when I originally got my cards. And this is going to be helpful is on the first turn entering a fight you may roll an additional power die. So if I go into the assault stance, I could be rolling 2 power dice, which is pretty good. Now this does require a strength of 8. I have a strength of 8, so there's no problems there. Now this would have been purchased last time on my turn. Now they're both the same. The Shrug Off Pain and the Ferocious Charge were both at 8 XP, so I would have spent the same amount. Now having that one in my inventory, I can now do the improve step and improve this one to its higher side, which is we get the same thing. First turn entering a fight, roll additional power die, and then if it rolls doubles on the power dice, your target becomes dazed until the end of the next turn, even if you missed. So that's pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and improve that for 8 XP. I have 1 XP left. Now the only reason I was able to double, like, buy it and upgrade it was because I was kind of backing up to the original turn where I bought that skill because of the Shrug Off Pain I bought. I wasn't able to have in my hands. Alright, so now that we've done that, I've improved. That's finished out our map action phase. Map action phase. So now we go into the danger phase and see if anything's going to happen. Alright, so the bandit dangerous degenerates driven to desperate deeds swear blood oaths to their brigand brothers in smoke-filled tents of the bandit camp. Alright, so this is yellow. The bandit camp is where we're increasing the danger level. Looks like the bandit camp is a 4, so that is going to go to a 5. Alright, so now we've done the increase the danger level, and now we look at the danger level of the current space we're in. Remember, it was a 4. Go down here. Our danger level is 4, so if the card is equal to or less than, that means we're going to go ahead and resolve the encounter. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw 1 encounter card for the territory that we're in. Looks like we are in the wetlands now, so we're going to be drawing a new encounter card. So we'll go ahead and draw that now. Alright. Foul weather. Resolve immediately. The gloomy clouds above release an endless downpour of pummeling gusts of wind and make travel by boat impossible. This card affects each adventurer in the wetlands. When you attack with a weapon that uses ammo this turn, you miss if you roll doubles on your attack dice. During the next map action phase, adventurers cannot lake or port travel to or from any space in the wetlands. Well, that's good because I don't think I'm planning on doing any river or port travel, so we don't have to really worry about this. I think this one uses ammo, but I'm not sure because it does say uses shot. I believe I'm going to consider that ammo since it's a pistol, so what I'll do is I'll rule in favor of the game and say if we roll doubles on the attack dice, we're going to miss. Okay, so we're going to have to kind of keep that in mind. I have to keep this card out here so I remember that. Now that that has been pretty much resolved, we're going to go back to the card here and consult it. We're 2 adventurers, so we're going to be drawing 2 of the wetlands monsters that we'll have to go ahead and enter the encounter phase basically for this. So 2 of the wetlands monster cards. We have 2 creatures. Now we notice here that they do not have any arrival abilities. So we're going to go ahead and put them where they need to go. So this one wants to go to the lowest agility. Go ahead and focus on our guys here. So the lowest agility would be our corpse burner. So the one with slime here is going to go to the corpse burner. And this one wants to also go to the lowest agility. So both of these are going to be engaged with the corpse burner, which is not super great. Alright, so now that we have those engaged, we basically move straight into the combat phase. Now, since I have no arrival abilities to speak of, let's see what their actual abilities are. Both of them have slime, and this one has slime and venom. So we'll look at the back of the rule book and see what those are real quick. So we have slime. You can read that. When you receive 1 or more wounds from this monster, you become slimed until the end of the fight. Okay, so the end of the fight are tokens here. That means I won't have to rest to take it off, but I won't be able to get those off until all those creatures are dead. Now we have slime and then venom. So we need to see what venom is real quick. Okay, it looks like page 22. Venom. When you receive 1 or more wounds from this monster, you become poisoned. So I'll become slimed and poisoned if I get hit. Slime only being once, and then poisoned if I get hit by the venom. So not great. So those are the abilities that we have to worry about. Now, we always go in morale order. So we know the witch smeller has the highest MRL, so she can act first, and I want to put her into the assault stance here. Not guarded, yes, assault stance. Also noting that on her 2 abilities here, we have to be in the assault stance to use these quick actions. Now, either one of these, I don't know. These are Filth, Ooze, and Filth Vermin. So none of these fit the conditions of the Inquisitor card, or we do +1 damage, so we can just put that off to the side. Intimidate is, if we destroy an enemy this round, choose the target, bandit or heretic. This one's not going to be of use to us either. So really, we're just using the attack card that we have here, using perception, range, and then we're just rolling against one of those two. So we're picking our target, and again, this is good because it's a free attack up here. So she's going to be able to make a free attack without any retribution. She's in the assault stance, so she's going to get to roll her power die. The question is what target do I really want to go after? Oh my goodness, look at this one, guys. This one is armor 1 and a health of 8. This one might want to be my target. Hopefully I can do a lot of damage to it and knock it out by the corpse burner before it's actually able to attack. Actually, no, he might still get the attack, but maybe we'll try to bring him down as best. Okay, so this skull spider is going to be my target. Remember, we ignore 1 armor for the pistol that she's shooting, so we'll be able to do damage directly to the skull spider. Let's go ahead and roll our test. Okay, perception is a 7. She rolled an 8. I could use one of my luck to re-roll that, but oh goodness, I don't know if I want to start burning through that for the attacks. Alright, so unfortunately she failed, so we're going to move on to the corpse burner's turn. Corpse burner is going to put himself into the guarded stance. I don't like the amount of damage. That's 5 damage, 6, 7, 8. I'd like to try to avoid that as much as possible. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and roll our defense test on the agility, 7 or less. And looking at ferocious charge, let's look at that real quick. I can't use either of these because they require to be in the assault stance. But I'm wondering, is it worth me changing to the assault stance just to see like if I'm going to be able to get this attack? I could use an additional power die when using the strength attack this turn. If it is your first turn after entering a fight. This makes me want to put myself into the assault stance just to get that. But it may be like a really bad move. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I'm going to do it. Just the first one. This might be a bad decision, but I'm going to go ahead and do it just so I can get the ferocious charge. So remember, we're going to roll an additional power die when using the strength attack. Okay, so instead of 1 power dice, we're going to get 2. And remember, if we roll doubles, your target becomes dazed. Alright, so my second power dice, I'm going to be rolling 2 of those. So this will be the orange dice is for the strength test, green dice is for the agility, and I have 2 power dice. Hopefully I can get a good roll. Alright. Whew. Alright, so power dice did me absolutely no good. Not good at all. However, I did pass my strength test, and I did 5 damage, so that's pretty good. So we'll look at those in a second. So agility, I just barely passed it. We did a 7, but I couldn't have passed that any better with my highest die being a 6. So this one does a 5 damage. This one does 3 damage, so I was able to block all the incoming damage from those. Now, I did 5 damage to the target. I guess maybe I didn't call that, but I want to go ahead and put it on this one here because I'd like to try to take him out of the fight as quick as possible. So 5 damage. He has an armor 1, so 4 total damage come into the monster. So we'll go ahead and mark that here, 4 damage. And then there's nothing, no other skill, no other things we need to resolve for end of fight. So we go ahead and start a new round of combat, meaning that the Witch Smeller is going to be the one to act first, choosing the same target. We're just going to be rolling. She's going to be in the attack stance or the assault stance, and the power die hopefully can help us out this time. Thinking maybe she failed a perception test. I think she did because that's 9 and her perception is 7, so that would have been really good if we could have done that, but I'm just going to leave it as, and the Witch Smeller, you need to start doing better. Seriously. So now that it's the end of turn for her, we're going to go back to the Corpse Burner. He is going to now move from the assault stance to the guarded stance. I'm only rolling 1 power die now. Where's my green dice? There they are. I'm only rolling 1 power die now because we're back into like normal stats, and the power die is going to be applied to defense. Alright, agility test was passed, And it's a good thing because I passed, the power die was a 5, so that means I blocked 5 damage from this one, 3 damage from that one. Really, really good. This one, I passed, but I didn't do that great. I only rolled a 2 for my highest, so only 1 point of damage came in. And so 3, 4, 5 is what the damage is right now currently on that one. So we need to do a little bit more. This is the end of this combat round, so we finish everything. There's really nothing to do. Start a new round of combat, going back to the Witch Smeller again. Hopefully she can redeem herself and finally put this one down. So we'll see. We'll go ahead and roll our combat. Dang it, Witch Smeller. You're not doing good. Okay, she fails her perception test, so she failed the shot. And now we go back to the Corpse Burner, staying in the guarded stance and re-rolling our same test we did earlier. We did good on the defense. Well, we were able to pretty much block everything because of that 6. But we failed on the attack because we rolled too high. So that's going to finish that out. But we're doing good because we're not taking any damage. That's at least the good thing here. So now it's the same thing. We're just going to keep rolling back and forth because nothing is changing. So Corpse Burner, not Corpse Burner, but the Witch Smeller, starting a new round of combat, is going to attack the Skull Spider. So we'll roll. Oh my God, this Witch Smeller does not know how to roll dice. I don't understand this. All right, so she fails. Go back to the Corpse Burner, staying in the guarded stance. Roll. Okay, so he finally gets through on the attack, but we'll do that next. So 6, 7, 8 for agility. Fails the attack. Okay, finally actually failed, not the attack, failed the defense. So the power die we're using in the guarded stance is going to be applied to 1. I am applying it to the Skull Spider because I don't want to take a poison, but now I am slimed. I finally had some damage come through on that. So -1 agility on slimed. I need to remember that I'm -1 agility. So that's going to finish out this round of combat. Now that I'm -1 agility, they still want to go. Now that we're in a new round of combat, they still want to go to the one with the lowest agility, which is still me. So they're staying on this target. Witch Smeller, do some damage. Jeez. Alright, so Witch Smeller's turn for a new round of combat. Maybe. Finally, she did something. Okay, so she passed her perception test of 7. I mean, just freaking barely. But she passed it very well. 6 damage. She ignores 1 armor, so 6 damage came in. And she's killed this one all the way. Alright, so now, Skull Spider, trophy for the Witch Smeller. She did not kill any heretics or witches, so she doesn't get to roll for any morale or any luck. So now we go to the Corpse Burner. I'm going to take the Corpse Burner out of the guard stance and put him in the assault stance. And so now our power die is going to be applied to our attack, because I'd like to try to take this one out. It only needs 5 damage to bring him down. So we'll see what we get. Alright, power die doesn't help us out. We passed our 1 test, but we did very... Dang it. We passed our agility test, but I can only block 1 damage. So 2 damage come in. 1, 2. I don't think I applied my damage from earlier when I got hit by the Skull Spider. Or no, I got hit by this one. Earlier, I didn't take my damage off. I would have been hit for a full 3 because I only blocked the 5 damage from this one. So 3 more. 2, 3. Now puts me at 5 damage. I'm okay with that. I did pass my strength test. I did a 4. So 4 points of damage come in. He only needs 1 more point of damage to die. Alright, so now we go to a new round of combat. Nothing has changed. And the Witch Smeller is probably going to get it now that she doesn't actually need it. So we're only testing her perception here. Need an 8 or less. No, 7 or less. Okay, so she got the test. She passed. Did 5 points of damage. Power die doesn't help out here. She only needed 1 point to go through, so this one is dead. All right. So we clean up now. Now that we've won the fight, we do the same things we did before. We lower the danger level in our current space. So it went from a 4 to a 3 down here. Next, we take everything we earn. Now the Witch Smeller killed both of these, so she's going to get 3 XP and 2 gold. So we'll go ahead and note those here. 3 XP, 1, 2, 3, and what was that? 2 gold. All right, so 1, 2. And then we see we only got 3 XP, so we're going to have to see if we're going to draw a loot card by rolling a dice and seeing if we get a 3 or less. Of course. All right, so 4, we did not get any loot cards for that, but now everything is done. I do not believe we rolled... Oh, crap. I would have to go back and review it, but I don't think we rolled any doubles on the attack dice. I might be totally wrong about that. Man, it's so hard to keep track of everything sometimes. Let me go back real quick. I'll review my video thing to see if that happened or not, because I'm worried about that one.
I can actually say with somewhat confidence that I did not actually roll doubles when it was for the corpse burner when we did any damage, because she would have been the only one using the pistol. So I think we're safe. So what I'm going to do now is wrap up the combat. We did everything we're supposed to do, so these guys are going to be discarded back to the wetlands monsters. Now that we've done that, this foul weather is resolved, so that can go into the discard for wetlands. And this bandit camp, we're done. We're done with the encounter. So now it's like, okay, where do we want to go from here? We're still there. We finished out this round. So I need to figure out where we're going next. Now, one thing we need to make note of is now that I'm outside of the lowlands here, I'm now out in the westland, and all of these brown roads here are actually not roads, they're paths. So I cannot force march on those. I cannot force myself to go here fast. I have to take the slow route because they're unexplored. So now it's weird sound outside. I'm going to probably cut that. All right, so we're just making our way here. We're going to move up this path here to the black tree, and then hopefully get ourselves to clue number 2 without too much stuff happening. We don't really need too much resting, although my corpse burner needs to recover some health, my witch smeller needs to recover some health, and we need to get off this slimed. This one may be until the end of the fight. Let me check that real quick. I think that was slimed until the end of the fight. Yeah, so slimed was until the end of the fight, so now that's done with and gone, so we can take that away. So the only thing we need to do is really recovering some wounds here.
What I know I want to do this round, at least, is do a rest action where we're at, and that way we can heal our wounds up and then be a little better prepared for any fights that may come up. Alright, so in order to do that, we don't have to be in any particular stance, but I would like to make sure that my guys are in the cautious stance just in case something may come up with the encounter draws that doesn't like that. Alright, so we're going to do a recover here, and to do that we're going to need to each test our morale on that, or MRL value. So we're going to go ahead and start the rest phase, which is the first thing that is required is to do a recovery. We're going to make a morale test to remove wounds and remove any status conditions. So we always go in, I think it's perception order, or make a morale test. How that acts is, yes, in morale order. Alright, so our highest morale right now is with the Witch Smeller. She is at a morale 9, so she gets to act first. Alright, so she's going to go ahead and run a test on her morale, which is a 9, so we're looking for a 9 or less. Alright, barely. Alright, so we got a morale, we test our passed our test of recovery. So I stated this in an earlier part of the video, or the other part, where if you pass the morale test on the recovery, then you get to heal the amount of wounds that your morale level is, which would be 9 in this case, so I can recover all of the wounds. Now if I fail the test, as I previously stated, you wouldn't get to recover wounds, but you would get to take all your status conditions off. I was incorrect. You actually get to heal up half of your morale points rounded up if you fail the test. So we went ahead and, since I passed the test, we went ahead and healed up. There were no status conditions that are on me that can be removed, so we just go ahead and finish the witch smeller up. I don't think there's anything else we want to do. Since we're in the cautious stance, the only thing I can do is improve as far as my rest actions, but I don't have enough XP to do that, so we're just going to move straight to the corpse burner. So corpse burner's got a morale of 8. There's nothing else bringing that down, so we'll go ahead and run the test with him. Alright, got to pass the test so we can heal up to 8 points, so that's going to be a full heal. And then he has no conditions on him that we need to remove, so we will go ahead and finish that out. I don't want to do any improve either because I don't have enough points to do that. That's pretty much all I can do for this phase. So now what we're going to do is go straight into the danger phase and see what we get here. And we want to remember that the danger level that we're going to be referencing is the Rotting Swamp, which is currently at a 4. Earlier when we were at Dusk Falls here, it uses Tomb Lake, which is a 3. Pretty much Tomb Lake is used for these locations right here, besides Fishmonger Camp and Tower Island because they have their own. But it's used for Ghost Gate and Dusk Falls. The paths here in this territory, they all use the Rotting Swamp because Black Tree has its own, Stone Circle has its own level, which is a town level, and Sunken Village has its own level. So when we're on the paths here, we're going to be using Rotting Swamp. But since we're still in Dusk Falls, we will be using Tomb Lake as our reference point for our danger level. Like I said, once we get moved off into the actual paths here off of Dusk Falls, then we'll be using Rotting Swamp. Alright, so danger card. Let's see what we get. Alright, we get bandits and their unnatural allies continuously battle for control of the watchtower. Alright, so watchtower, looks like it's in yellow, is going to be up here. So we'll go ahead and look for the watchtower. Alright, watchtower is currently at a 3, so it's now at a 4. And then we go back to resolving everything else. So here we have a law symbol, so we'll be referencing the trying to think of the name here, the bounty level. I need to go ahead and talk a little bit about the danger cards as it's related to the law spaces here that we drew a law symbol. Now this would pertain to us if we were in a law space on the board. Now where we are currently at in Dusk Falls, there is no law symbol, so it is not considered a law space. Law spaces would be things like Brutalberg here that has a law symbol. The Fields has a law symbol. These have a law symbol. So where we're at, there is no law symbol in Dusk Falls. So how that works is the rules stay. I mean, that's pretty much the same. If we were in a law space, we would consult the bounty level. Since we're not in a law space, as it says, the card or the rules say to treat the card as normal. So we're going to be looking at no longer the law symbol. We're not in a law space. We're just going to be looking at the danger level 3. So since we're at Tomb Lake, which is a 3, we're going to be treating this card as normal. So we will be drawing, since the card is equal to or less than. So we're going to be drawing 1 encounter card here for the territory we are in. Alright, so we'll place that there. We're drawing 1 for the wetlands encounter. So we'll go ahead and draw that and do a resolution. Alright, we have a lucky find. You trip on an old wooden chest, half submerged in the mud. Inspecting it, you find a sigil carved into the chest's lid. a symbol from the language of the Bog people, meaning forbidden. In luck order, highest to lowest, each member of the party may choose to search the chest or ignore it, until an adventurer has searched, or every adventurer has chosen to ignore it. So if we search, we take an epic loot card. Then if you have 0 luck, take a curse from the weakness deck. Do not gain bonus XP. If you have at least 1 luck, lose D6 luck. Okay, it sounds like something I want to do. However, I may opt to not do it. And the only reason why is because of this part right here. Searching, you get an epic loot card. I mean, God, that would be so cool right now. But my corpse burner can't do it because my corpse burner has 0 luck. My witch smeller can. She's got 2 luck right now, so she would be okay. Take an epic loot card, then if you had 0 luck, take a curse. So she wouldn't have to do that because she would have 1 luck left after doing it. And if you have at least 1 luck, lose D6 luck. So she's going to be losing all of her luck. And as I feel like I need that luck right now because the game isn't exactly like super rewarding. So it's kind of punishing. So I'm kind of keeping a distance of those risky things, even though I know it would be awesome to get an epic loot card. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have both choose to ignore it. And there's no penalty for ignoring it. So if you're doing that on an encounter card, then this is just discarded and it goes away. Alright, so now that we've done that, what we're going to do is go ahead and resolve the rest of our card. So for the enemies we draw, since we're a party of 2, we'll be bringing 2 onto the board. So we'll go ahead and draw those from the Wetlands Monsters. So 2 cards. First one is the Notch, I don't want to say that, Drake Knight. Alright, so he is going to the one with the highest armor. Alright, so, the highest ARM. Both of those look to be 0 because nobody has anything that gives them armor. So I guess that's pretty much, wherever we choose that to go. This one is the Fighting Outhouse. Alright, this one is the lowest MRL. So that is going to be our corpse burner here. This one does have the ambush arrival ability, so let's go reference that real quick here. Ambush is each adventurer in the monster space must take a perception test. Each adventurer who fails becomes stunned for 1 round until the end of the first turn. Okay, so we've had this before. And so this one's a construct and weird. Now remember, the witch smeller is immune from the ambush if it is a heretic or witch monster in your space. Okay, so we don't have anything like that because this is a weird. And this is a construct or weird as well. Okay, so it looks like she's not immune from the ambush ability. Now the monster is considered in our space, even though it is engaged with the corpse burner here. So it looks like both of those are going to be taking a perception test. And if they fail, they're going to be stunned for 1 round until the end of the first turn. So, ooh, that's tough because we don't get to roll a power dice if we're stunned. Alright, so let's go ahead and take the tests. I'm going to start with the corpse burner here. And for his perception test, it's a 7. So he needs to roll a 7 or less. Alright, he rolled a 6, so he is not stunned. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and now roll for the witch smeller. Her perception is also a 7. She rolled a 3, so she is not ambushed either. So we did very well on that. There are no other arrival abilities. Now this one has infect, which means if I get hit by this monster, then I will become infected. And this one has command. This is another one that I kind of messed up a little bit, because on another card, I think somebody had command summon, and I kind of put those two together, but command is its own ability, and what that is right here. It's all other monsters in the same space with lower value XP and at least one class matching with this monster have +1 attack. Alright, so this one has to be a Val or XP Val that's lower than him. So since this one is a 2, this one has to be lower. And it looks like it's not. It looks like it's the same. So this does not get the bonus +1 attack on the fight here. So that's good. So we don't have to really worry about command, ambush. The really only thing now that we're worried about is infect, which isn't too bad. It just is going to stop our healing when it gets to it. Okay, so now that we've gotten everything pretty much for the start of the fight here, we'll go ahead and move into the first round. Alright, so we've established targets, took care of rival abilities, and now the adventurers take turn in perception order. Alright, so let's see. Both of these, oh, these are pretty tough. I didn't even look at both of them have an armor 2. This one has a health of 6, and this one has a health of 4. Alright, so what I think I'm going to start with is putting them in their stance. I want them both to be, I want her to be in the guarded stance, because he does hit pretty hard. He hits for 5, and the fighting outhouse hits for 4. So I want to keep her health as best as I can, so I'm going to keep her in the guarded stance. I will activate her first. And so we're going to roll our tests on perception, agility, and I only get 1 power die, unfortunately. Grab these here. Alright, so intimidate. Let's see. I'm trying to see if these are doing anything for me. If you destroy an enemy this round. No, we're not there. Alright, let's look at Inquisitor. So your attacks inflict +1 damage against demons and heretics. Well, first of all, we'd have to be in the assault stance. And second, we'd have to be fighting a daemon or heretic. So this one is not going to do anything for us at all. Okay, so we're really just going to go ahead and roll for our attack on the pistol. It's a perception. The pistol, again, ignores 1 armor. So we'll go ahead and roll that. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. Alright, so we failed our agility test. We rolled a 9. We probably failed 6, 7, 8, 9 for the perception. Okay, so we failed that. So we failed both of our tests. Now, so our power die, since we're in the guarded stance, can block damage from 1 monster. This monster has 5, so we rolled a 6 on that, so we are actually safe. We didn't take any damage. Alright, so now her turn is done, so we're going to move on to the Corpse Burner here. Now the Corpse Burner is going to be in assault stance, and the reason why he's going to do assault stance is because of this one right here. If this is your first turn, after entering a fight, you may roll an additional power die when using the strength attack this turn. And we also, if we roll doubles on the power dice, your target becomes dazed. Alright, so we get to roll 2 power dice. Alright, and we are going to make the attack against the fighting outhouse using the grave shovel, which is the strength. Pooh. Alright, so we rolled a 9 for our strength. Our strength is an 8, so we failed the test. For defense, we did pass the 7, and we blocked 4 damage coming in. That's our highest dice. Now he only does 4. So we took no damage. Now my question is about this one. If you roll doubles on your power dice, your target becomes dazed until the end of your next turn, even if you missed. Well, guess what, guys? We rolled 2 2s, so our target is now dazed. Let's go look at that and see what that is. Dazed. While dazed, a monster's attack is reduced to half, rounding up, before applying any modifiers for abilities. Okay, so for the next round, I guess for next round, he will only be hitting for 2 instead of 4 because he's dazed, and it will only last for the next round. Okay, so now that we've gone into the next round, I am going to go ahead and keep everything the same. I'm going to leave my Witch Hunter in the guarded stance and my Corpse Burner in the assault stance, because he's only attacking for 2. It's not a big hit if I fail the test. So let's go ahead and activate him first. So we can't use the quick action anymore because this is not our first fight, so I'm only rolling 1 power die. Oops. Alright, looks like we are good on the strength test. We can use our power die with the strength, and looks like we're good on the agility. And that's good too, because we can only block 3, but he's only doing 2 damage because of the dazed status. So we're good on the damage incoming. Now we did 5 damage to him. He has 2 armor, so we've actually 3 of that got through. Alright, so we'll go ahead and mark that. And we only need to damage him 3 more times to kill him. Next is the Witch Smeller, and we'll go ahead and roll for her. She's in the guarded stance, so her power die will be applied to the armor. Not armor, but our defense. Alright, so we did good again because we failed our agility test, but we rolled a 6 on the power die, so we block all incoming damage from 1 monster. Well, we block 6 damage from 1 monster, which will be him, the only one I'm engaged with. Rolled a 6 on my perception, which is a pass. Now, the only time we have to worry about rolling doubles on this one, I believe, is if we roll 12 on the attack die, so I'd have to roll 2 6s. Alright, so since we did a pass, I can only do 3 damage. I ignore 1 armor, so I did 2 damage to this monster. So 2 is good. I will take it. Okay, and then we start over once more. And I'll just go ahead and start with the Corpse Burner first. That way, if he actually does get the attack off, he'll be open possibly next round. Okay, so we're going to put him in the assault stance. This one now is hitting for 4, so if I can't block it, it will be a little bit of a hit, but I'll risk it. Okay, so we did a 7 on our strength test, which we're good, so we did 4 damage. We also rolled 7 on the agility, so we're good there. Power die doesn't help us because we rolled higher on that. So we can block 5 damage coming in. He does 4, so we're good there. We passed, so we did 4 damage to him. 2 armor, so 2 damage comes in. So now he is at a 5. So close, so close. It's got a lot of health. Yeah, so 4 damage, 2 block, yeah, 2. Okay, so he's done. So now we're going to roll the test on our Witch Smeller, and keeping ourselves in the guarded stance. Alright, so this is for our perception. This is a 7, so we did pass there. We rolled a 7 on our agility. We did pass. The power die does us no good. We blocked 5 damage coming in, so 5 damage from this monster was blocked. And then we did 5 damage, so blocking only 1 of those. So we did 4 incoming damage, because remember, her pistol blocks, or her pistol negates 1 armor. So he's only blocking 1 out of the 5 damage that I did. So we did 4 total. 4 on top of the 2 is definitely more than we needed to kill this one. Alright, so we've killed this one. It goes into my trophies. Now I can roll a... Let's see, when it is any heretics or witches. Okay, so this one's not a heretic or witch, unfortunately, so I don't get to roll for luck on that one. Alright, and then we start a new round for the Corpse Burner, trying to take this one out, but our Witch Smeller might be able to step in and help out, depending on how we do. Keeping in the assault stance, hoping for some good rolls. Looks like we did. So we did a passed on our strength test, so we did 5 damage with our power die. We got 6 on the agility, so we blocked 5 damage coming in, so that was more than we needed. Now 5 in, blocked 2 of that because of his armor, so we did 3 damage in.
This one is now dead. Alright, so this one goes into my trophies. This one's a Constructor Weird. The only thing I can roll for luck on is Undead. Okay, so he doesn't get to roll for luck either. So now what we're going to do is collect our rewards here. This one is an XP 2 and 1 gold. So my XP 1, 2, and gold goes up by 1. Alright, that's the last thing this one needed, so we'll keep that there just for XP purposes, or for loot, I would say. This one for the Witch Smeller was 2 XP and 2 gold, so 2 XP, 1, 2, and gold, 1, 2. Alright, now, remember that both of them had 2 XP, so they each get to roll a die, and the die has to be equal to or less than the XP that we gained in order to roll for a loot card. Alright, so I have to roll a 2 or a 1 for each of these. Let me double check that. Yep, it's equal to or less than. I'm going to roll a power die. Feeling lucky on the power dice. So we need a 2 or higher on either. So I'll start with a Corpse Burner. Ha, I got a 1. Sweet. Alright, and I will then roll for the Witch Smeller. Needs a 2 or 1. Okay, so she failed. So we finally get to draw a loot card. This is fun. I've never drawn one before. Alright, so we'll go over here and draw our loot card and see what we get. Please don't be a monster. Please don't be a monster. Iron Shot. Awesome. Alright, so to use this item, it must be loaded into another item that uses shot, which would be the Witch Smeller. Range attacks with the attached weapon inflict +1 damage on demons. When you roll 12 on your attack dice while making a range attack with this attached weapon, discard this card. Okay. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to need to give that to the Witch Smeller as soon as possible because I don't use anything with shot right now. Okay, so that is it, guys. We have defeated these two. They are no longer anything to us. So they're going to go back into the discard pile for the Wetlands monster. Okay, so next thing we need to do is then figure out where we're going next.